What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Get Off My Lawn with myself, Al the Geek, and one Captain Xavier. What do we talk about? Everything that's foam flinging related. And thank you for joining us here on the World Foam Alliance YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Please feel free to subscribe. As I've always said before, we are a
What's happening, everybody?
nonprofit.
Welcome to
What does
another
that
episode of
mean?
Get Off My Lawn
We
with
make
myself,
no
Al
money.
and one Captain Xavier.
Oh,
Yep, yep. I turned it off.
sorry for the pause. Some audio. We fixed it. Doesn't matter. Anyways, my point is we're a nonprofit organization. What does that mean? We make no money. So subscribe, like, and do anything else. So anything we can make in any fashion or way, that'd be great. We do have a website in development. I know you've all heard it before, but for those that have not heard it, yeah, you need money. We don't have money right now, so but we are having people work on it. So this is good things. Other than that, yeah, man, I think it's good. I'm glad you're all here. Glad to see everybody here. On today's episode, we do have a guest. Originally, we were going to have one Anthony Maritime Foam on because we were going to talk about his Maritimer. If y'all don't know about that, don't worry about it. He will appear again at some point later on when he has time. It's just today there was a conflict, some family things he had to take care of. So unfortunately, he stepped out. Now, good news is you won't just get stuck with us two miserable curmudgeons. We have one Joe Foamando, also another Maritimer, who will be joining us as well. And we're going to let you know when we actually bring him on. But there's going to be something special that he's going to be doing tonight too. So we're excited for that, and we're excited to have Joe on with us. Now, with that said, Cap man, what's shaking, brother? How are you?
I'm good. I got my Joy of Socks coin arrived. I'm pleased. Part of the You can get it from Containment Crew, I think.
Yes.
Lovely. I like coins. Yeah, I'm good. I've been working on getting my shop cleaned up and getting back into a regular upload schedule. Hopefully in the near future. We will see. I've been working on other stuff. Um, I've got a brick convention coming up at the end of the month, so a lot of my time is being taken up building my the thing that I'm taking to the convention. I've got a Nerf war next weekend. No, this weekend. This weekend I've got a Nerf war down in Portland with the Out of Darts folks. It's a private event they're putting on in an airsoft arena. That's going to be cool. I've got a new action cam. I'm hoping I will remember to bring and turn on, but I make no promises. Uh, and then the weekend after that is our first Borst War here in the Pacific Northwest, which I will be hosting at Fort Borst in Centralia, Washington. And that ought to be good. We're going to try that Hungry Hungry Hippos game that we talked about, I think, on this channel a while back. Um, so it'll be similar to our usual Carpe, where you're trying to gather ball pit balls from a bucket, except it will be four teams, one in each corner, and the balls will just be dumped randomly onto the field. And you'll be trying to gather as many of them as you can while fighting three other teams. It should be magnificent chaos, and looking forward to seeing that. We'll see what other games we come up with. We usually do a couple that we usually play. I'm going to push for Titan Ball in the season opening, and we'll see what other games people want to play. Always good to come up with new game types, keep things from getting stagnant. And yeah, that's what I got going on. Got some new blasters. I got a Vulture. That was pretty cool. I got a Hana. Have you seen that one? It's
The
basically
Hana I've seen.
yeah, it's a
Tell us about it.
compact 3D printed Alpha Trooper, and I love it. Beautiful little number. It may become my standard HVZ Springer. I might actually replace my Alpha Troopers,
Wow.
just so I'd have, you know, it would definitely happen if I can get um my FDL3 converted to half dart, because then I would be running all half darts and rival instead of half darts, full darts and rival. The reason I still run my Alpha Trooper is there are easy 6 round mags, because Maryland Mayhem UMBC, you started out with 6 round mags, but that may not be a thing anymore, so I might not have to worry about that. We'll see. We will
This is
see.
true. Well, also, if you get the FDL shifter changed over to half darts, if you can actually get them, oh, the
Yeah,
double stack moose mags.
Well, I'm working on. I've been meaning to sit down and try to design a mag adapter that will take the Moose mags because my FDL3 is the double stack magwell.
Yep,
Normally, it will take the Dominator, the Dominator,
yep,
Dominator mags.
Dominator. Yep.
So there should be enough room in there for me to build an adapter that'll take the double stack Moose mags if I could get that to work. It would need to have a pusher extender built into it, but that's not hard to do. We've seen those before. So we'll see.
That'd be
We
crazy because
will
again, like this
see.
one, for example, this is what almost like 50 rounds
40, yeah,
as
48,
a
something
double
like that.
stack. Yeah,
Yeah, which means
something like
it
48.
holds
So
more
you
than
can
that
imagine,
drum you were showing off earlier.
which we're gonna get to next.
Yeah.
See, hence the segue. But it's like interesting that you have like all you need is like the scared bandolier, and you'd have three mags, and that's 150 rounds right across your chest, easy access.
Yep.
If it's Talon mags, you're talking what 9 or 10 Talon mags that you'd have to have just for that, and there's just three.
hmm It's wild. I know there's Proteans that will take double stack. I have a Protean, so maybe I will just convert my Protean to Moose Mag since the files already exist. It'd just be a matter of printing a new magwell, which would be handy because my Protean's, I believe, semi-automatic, so that would be a perfectly good HVZ primary. I just have to figure out if there's a way to easily mount a Jupiter on the side of it.
Um, where is mine? Mine's over there. Actually, yeah, because if you use like for example, the standard protein is kind of short. They're
Yeah,
short and snug.
I need to get a
However,
longer
if you
barrel so
use
that I can put my foregrip on it.
like the extension, so like on mine and our soon to be guest Joe Foamando, he's got one as well. He's got the protein with a skeleton key undermount, and it was actually Hixie, I think, that designed the front end for it. But there's enough room on that front end that you could probably stick one to it and even still have a skeleton key on the bottom if you wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't mind having a Mega or Mega XL launcher on there as well. Because
Well,
that,
yeah, especially with the silly butts, and you have the shells, man. You have the options of everything.
yeah, yeah.
It is so convenient and great, man. I think we have. Oh, speaking of, so I can show this on stream, and I know we won't get in trouble for it
Look. Yeah, I need to get me
because
a
it's
pair of
still a
those
toy.
at least. Because if
So yeah.
I wonder if the Pew Pew could handle that, because that would be pretty fun to have a Pew Pew with a pair of those.
Oh my, yeah. And it's been so I got mine from Containment Crew. I got it from Charles. He sells I think the 33, the 45 and 70, whatever the up one is. And obviously in custom colors. And I've been using it in my Protean, and it's been on full auto, no problems. Feeds nice and smoothly.
hmm
And then I
hmm
threw it in my actually before the stream, I popped it in my MPP on semi and on full. And again, it's been running nicely. So yeah, drum mags, my first drum mag, sorry, first half dart drum mag, and I've been very happy with it so far.
Yeah, yeah. I like that there's more of them. The Easy E one is uh neat. It's difficult to reload though. You don't just load darts in the top. It's got a whole process. But it has always run smooth for me. So I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
What do we get? Oh, let me see.
There's something cut down there. You know what I come to notice, which is kind of lovely. Ever since we started doing this live stream, it's amazing how many other people are also doing like weekly live streams,
Yeah.
which makes I think it so much more accessible and fun with so many different people. And you don't have to be like, no, I'm sorry, people that only have X amount of followers or have an Etsy store or look like two grumpy old dudes have to have a live stream. I love the fact that across the hobby, so many people are doing it, and it's everything from just answering questions to like, you know what, I'm gonna mod this. And I've seen other people that do not look like you, the same thing, like answering questions and sorting darts. And I think it's just it's a fantastic what word am I looking for? Vessel venue. It's a fantastic thing where it's good interaction where you really get to know other people.
Hmm.
well, a couple like we've talked about in the past, even though there are events that happen all over the country, and it's great to show up and you see a lot of people, because of life, because of distance and everything else, you cannot make it to every show. And so you can't always have the great interactions with so many people just because, like I'd love to go out and go hang out with like Foamando and Maritime Foam, except they're way out in the Maritimes. And I think you have to like hire a bush plane and then like dog sleds, and then possibly like you have to then like with a canoe, possibly. I'm Canadian, by the way. I can do this, so I'm making fun of my own country. Yeah, then you have to what is it portage, and then you get to them. So
Ride on a moose at some point.
probably, or you get a flight to the airport by them, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Or even getting out to see you. It's like, all right, let's go to the West Coast. All right, 6 hour flight over the other coast. But anyways, point is with the live stream, that everyone's doing, you really get a good feel for everyone, and I feel it's a great community building thing because you get to talk and you get to really experience and see how people are, and a lot of them they don't have necessarily. It's not like they're putting on a show or a persona. They're just being themselves,
Yeah.
and I think it's what makes it very genuine, and then also makes it very easy to connect with.
It's good. Yep. Yep. We need more of that. We definitely need more event footage as well to show the world what we do and what we're about and how easy it is to be a part of it. Just show up. That's what I'm hoping to do some more of this year is actually remember to film events.
Maybe I think I'm gonna send up a random message, random like calendar to ping you every Saturday morning. Hit record.
Yeah, I need to set it up for when I'm at events. Just have an alarm that goes off every half hour. Film, you mook. Oh yeah, yeah. You're running the event, just film it and cut it down to the good bits and add some voiceover and some music and upload it and show the world what we're about. Um, I'm hoping to get more
I think it's great.
advanced in my game running. Get something like the Maritimer or the system that they had down at the event I went to in Springfield. Something with timers and screens and buttons all connected either by Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or wired even if necessary. Um, Either on my arena or at Borst. Did Al freeze or is he just holding a real still? Oh, he's frozen. We've lost Al. Nope, he's back. But he moved.
Am I am I unfrozen now?
Yeah.
Okay. It was me.
So
Oops.
yeah, it'll be neat to see what comes about. We've got some community stuff coming back here in the Pacific Northwest. That I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I'm finally getting my place cleaned up and upgraded so that I can host events here. Um, Out of Darts is growing because they've got Luchathor and they've got Dr. Flux, and so they've got new ideas and fresh blood and real truly community minded people. Some of the people that work at Out of Darts are just there for a warehouse job. They're not really much into the hobby, which job's a job. Um, but now they've got people that are dedicated to the hobby, and with Out of Darts' resources, they will hopefully do some really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. So yeah, it's fun times. The guy that I'm going down to do an arms deal on Saturday. I don't know if I mentioned it on the stream yet. But it's a guy who was in our club from the very beginning. I think he was at the first Pan War that we had here in the Pacific Northwest. Um, and he's been out of the game for a couple of years, and it's amazing to think how far it has come since the last. Like when he was last in the hobby, the Caliburn was still the big blaster
King.
on
Yep.
on the block. And now you can buy better blasters than that at Walmart for $25. It's nuts. Um, see,
Yeah.
did you all hear about the new X-Shot Rhino Fire competitor? I think I heard rumors about it. That sounds, yeah, no, I've definitely saw something, yeah, about a dual drum or dual belt X shot blaster. That
It's
should
a
be.
very hazy photo, and it was actually a Wallcom did a live stream on it. I remember tuning in
Mm.
just to see what it's about. It should be interesting to see, but it's also, even though the season has started and New York Toy Fair has happened, it doesn't mean that's all everyone's got. So
Yeah.
it's always interesting to see what else they have in the pipe as it pops out. Like I still can't, I'm still very excited to get the Thrasher, the full auto pistol, just
Yep.
because the lines on it seem to be different than the Venom Pro. Like the Venom Pro works beautifully, that's no question. But for me, from a perspective for
The
conventions and
painting,
cosplay,
the angles. People are
yeah,
gonna like the angles. The curves look good for certain sci-fi. Angles look good for certain sci-fi. I want it for the angles. I like the old N
correct.
Street angles as well. That dwarven look rather than that elven look, as far as you know, Art
Yes,
Deco versus Art Nouveau kind of feel.
you know what
Panzers
that
versus
means.
Shermans kind of.
Yes. I was just realizing, what about the so once that Thrasher comes out, we're gonna have to make sure. I don't think he's called it quits, but 3D printed solid to make sure if we like the blaster that he makes a drop leg holster for that.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I've got the Nightingale ones, and they are sweet. Would love Thrasher ones. Um,
You don't have a Venom Pro one?
I don't know. Did he make Venom Pro mags?
Yep.
Or I believe
I got him. I got one.
I don't think I have the Venom Pro ones because I don't have a
I do. I'll make sure that
fancy
the
custom
thing's not
pair
in
of
it,
Venom
but I have
Pros.
one.
I do have fancy custom Nightingales.
Yes, that you do. I got just a single, so not the pairs.
Hmm.
But yeah, that
Hmm.
fits the Venom Pro.
Yeah, that's what the
So I got
Nightingale
a
one looks like, but
same idea.
same,
Yeah.
yeah, same concept. Um, the Blitzhammer and Thrasher.
By the way, this one I purposely haven't read just so I remember that's different and not try to stuff a nightingale in this and wonder why it's not working. Oh,
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah.
well, I think at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our guest. And our guest today is one Joe Foamando. And I'm going to let you, well, I'm going to let him tell us what he's going to do for us on the same time at the show. But Joe is also a maritimer. He likes to cosplay, and his cosplay techniques are fantastic. And what's great about Joe is that the man is a creator and he's a sewer. And when I mean sewer, he makes some fantastic tack gear in terms of drop pouches, belts, things. It's almost like once he gets an idea, he goes, "Here, let me mess with that." And when he makes it, you think it's factory made because the quality is just phenomenal. So, without further ado, we have one Joe Foamando. Joe, what's shaking, brother? How are you, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to
Yo.
be here, and thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. That's really nice to hear.
My only knock on Joe is that sometimes he's too nice, where it's like, stop giving stuff away and we'll throw money at you. You're allowed to make some money so that you don't have to give it all away. So,
Oh,
But
I do okay. I do
however,
okay. I do okay. It's a Canadian thing, and that's part of why I'm here. When my friend Anthony mentioned that he had some things tying him up, I knew that it was time to just jump in and offer to hop on for you guys because Anthony's a really close friend. I'd do anything for him, so it's a real pleasure to be here.
we're
well,
glad to have you. Do you want to tell everyone what you're planning to do for the while we're on the stream?
Sure. So for tonight, what I was going to do, I'm happy to answer any questions and talk about the different things I've been working on. But also, I was going to do some live sewing. Al mentioned that I sew tactical gear, and my number one bestseller by far is my dump pouch. So tonight, I'm going to live sew a dump pouch, and then our hosts are going to select a winner from whoever's watching tonight, and they are going to win a dump pouch. I've taken some time ahead of time to get it cut out and clipped, but we're looking at purple and blue
Ah,
for tonight for whoever wins. And it'll look Here's a completed one, something like this. So pouch, pull string, molly attachment, and you just simply pull, open it up, and you've got a nice big bag that stays open. And the last time I did one of these on a live stream, we put like 14 or 15 Talon mags in it, and there was room for more. So it's good capacity. And the really nice thing is once it folds up, it's one molly slot wide on your belt. A lot of fold up pouches are too wide, so this you could fit a few. I carry a few of these. So anyway, someone tonight who's watching will have a lucky winner. I'll ship it to them wherever they are in the world, as long as it's on Earth. No moon mission stuff. April Fool's Day. I'll ship it anywhere in the world free of charge.
Wait. So what you're saying is something like this? Is that what we're talking
Maybe,
about?
yeah, something like that.
Something like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Mine's
Yeah.
around.
Although to be truth be told, Al, yours is an older
Yes.
model. Yours is one of the OGs, and I don't like the
Yep.
way the bag on yours flops around. I'd like that to hold open a little better, and that's fabric choice. So I'm really picky about what I make them out of, and I'm just gonna have to make you another one, Al. I'm gonna have to refuse your money again, and we're gonna have to go through this whole thing again. But I really like them. I like it to when it's opened up, I want it to stay open and hold open, right? So some of those
I get that.
earlier ones, I think Nerf dogs maybe some of the earlier ones I wasn't able to. I didn't have a line on the good fabric for it. So anyway, tonight's will be a little nicer. But thank you for showing yours.
And I get it as well. So just for the record, like I get what he's saying to it, but don't think that what he made in this first one is it's still solid. And trust me, it is very reliable and solid and well. So it's just like everything else. It's like the first couple of blasters I painted. Oh wow, those are cool. No, they're not. They're absolutely horrible and terrible. It's
They're
just the
rubbish. Don't
evolution
even
and the
look at them.
process. Yes. Don't no. No, don't even tell everyone that I made it. No, this is embarrassing. So, but his first tries, unlike mine, are really, really good. So yeah, I get that process and I get that. Now, on the same token, because it's on the same belt, you want to tell everyone what that is?
That looks like an outlaw holster. So yeah, I definitely do holsters too. I basically do any kind of tack gear or bags like IFACs, whatever. I can sew just about anything. I have the gear for it. But holsters in particular, the thing about Nerf blasters is even a universal sort of, I guess what we'll call real steel holster won't fit most Nerf blasters. Maybe something like a Diana with really, your tiny profile and your brushless motors, but like a hammer shot is pretty big, or a lot of Nerf blasters are just too big. So I got into this thing of making custom patterns for blasters, so then they fit like a glove. And I do have universal holsters as well, but the specific one for like that outlaw one that'll fit like a glove.
Nice.
It does feel like a glove, man. It's yeah, because you're right. At first, the vibe might you think like it's one of those universal adjustable ones, and you're like, all right, once you get in there, good luck pulling it quickly. No, there isn't that problem. And the fact that it's an easy adjustment in terms of the squeeze and the tightness of it. And look, custom colors too.
Oh yeah, you got to have
So
custom colors. That was
like
part of the whole
totally.
motivation, just like our friends with SERD, right? And I kind of
Yep.
came onto the
Look.
scene around the same time as they launched their Kickstarter. But it's all the same motivation. I got into this hobby, and the first event I went to, I wore all black tack gear. Right, this is a familiar story, right? And
Yep.
I felt very uncomfortable. It was
Yeah.
not cool, and I knew right
Yeah.
away, like, okay, we got to do something about this. And I learned to sew as a kid, so I knew I could take it somewhere and do something. And I saw this opening, same as our friends at Containment Crew, the SCRD crew, Charles, and so I'm so sorry, it was Ryan.
Yeah.
Silver
Ryan and
Fox.
Um,
Jesse at Silver Fox.
Yes.
yeah, those fellas. Same concept. We got, there's an opening here, there's a hole here, there's a need here. So it's good to see some bright colors out there. And
Yeah.
I typically won't make gear in black. Like if someone wants something in all black, I'll kind of say no to that. I want to make it in bright colors, and that's what I want to see out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the second wave of scared gear showed up, and
Beauty.
there's some good stuff. There's the little chest rig. There's
Hmm.
a big old dump pouch. Does
Hmm.
not fold up as small as yours. And as you said, it's 2 molly strips wide, even when folded. Um, And it comes in all the colors and all of the land, but there is still stuff we don't have. We don't have holsters from them. We don't
Hmm.
have really small folding dump pouches from them. We didn't manage to unlock the H harness, which made me sad because I would really like to get an orange H harness. Yeah, something like
Ah,
that.
there we go.
Um, and yeah, and it comes in solid colors. So yeah, it comes in a lot of colors, but they're all one color. So they're orange or white
That's
or
that's
whatever.
smart though. That's smart
Yes,
though, because
it is
you
very
can't
useful.
you can predict one color that someone will like, but predicting which two colors they want in combination is almost
Yes,
impossible.
exactly. So
Yeah.
having it be monochromatic, I absolutely understand why they did it. You have the
Mhm.
ability to make things even more custom to somebody. Like my
Yeah.
colors are
And,
orange and black, and these are orange and black, and I'm set. I'm good to go. But if my colors were red and green,
yeah.
it,
And I work with people and make it as custom as they want. Some folks just want to give me a color scheme and say, go just do your thing. And other folks want to pick everything down to the thread color, and I'm happy to do it either way.
yeah,
It's good fun for me.
yeah, that's the beauty of custom work.
Hmm.
And yeah, between the two, somebody can get absolutely every piece of gear that they want and in good quality. So
Hmm.
it is beautiful seeing all the color in Nerf because yeah, I had the same thing when I got first into it. We were coming from professional private security, so all of our gear was black because
Hmm.
that's the professional look, but it just doesn't work in Nerf.
No,
But
especially not
luckily,
outside.
we have
Not
ways of
outdoors.
that.
No.
Yeah. I was lucky
No.
because I chose orange and black as my colors early on, and one of the few colors you can get Molly gear in is orange because of
Hmm.
hunting. Um, so that exists, but a lot of the other colors just didn't, or if they did, they were stupidly expensive. So having it be readily available to everyone is just wonderful. Uh, Also, we discovered that camouflage pants, cargo pants, come in every color imaginable.
Hmm.
So you see that at almost every event, purple and pink and green and yellow and orange, all these different colored camo pants. Um,
I'd
that
like to make a recommendation there for the hobby, and I use it for the hobby and for my work outside of the hobby. You can get what's called Gen 3 tactical pants on Amazon for
Mhm.
very inexpensive in a bunch of different colors, and they have built-in removable knee pads. And let
Yeah,
me tell you,
Oh.
for us older gentlemen or anyone, us older folks that are playing Nerf, those knee pads are sweet. And I do rehab work outside of this for folks with disabilities. So I'm generally working with someone who's in a wheelchair. So I'm on my knees a lot for work, and they are a godsend. They're so good. And I'm able to get them up in Canada for like 50, $60 on Amazon, and they come in mixed colors. So I'd highly recommend them for anyone playing Nerf.
cool. Send me the
Say
link.
that again. What was it? Gen 3.
Gen 3 tactical pants, and I will send you both the links after the show.
Yes, I will definitely look into that.
I'm not looking
Yeah,
it
they're
up right
great.
now. I don't know what you're talking
I don't
about.
know what you're talking about. Could be anything.
And
All right, so
actually, I
Joe,
looked
then
into making
go
my
ahead, brother.
own. Sorry, I don't. I
No,
looked
go
into
ahead.
making
You're
my
good.
own, and because the first pair I bought, they were quite expensive because I didn't quite do the digging around. So I looked into making my own, and I'd gotten a pattern and made a prototype pair and all that. But then when I found them for like 60 Canadian on Amazon, if I value my time at all, once you get the materials and once you buy good knee pads to put in them, it just didn't make any sense. So I'm buying them. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
no, something as complex as pants is it's a lot of sewing. I've
Yeah,
done.
although so right over there, I could show you.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Yeah, when I did medieval recreation, I did a lot of my own sewing.
yeah,
So,
I understand you're an accomplished tailor yourself, Captain.
from time, it's been a long time, but yeah, I used to have to make all my own. I used to make my own tactical gear back in the day because you want a shoulder holster for what is that thing called? The barrel break. The only way to make one is to custom make it.
Yeah.
Same thing back in the day to make holsters for strifes. They had to be handmade, and
Mhm.
um, I mean, I've made my own padded armor, and I've made, I was the mascot in high school. I made my coat, a colonial style red
Oh,
wool
very
coat.
cool. You'll have to send me pictures of that.
No, 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 no.
No.
Okay.
No pictures
I
of that
tried.
exist, I can assure you.
I tried.
What was it? I just lost my train of thought. I was gonna ask a question. Oh man, tactical
You'll come
plans.
back to it.
Well, whatever. I don't. You know what? We will circle back eventually. So then, Joe, how did you you touched upon it briefly, but you might as well let people know.
Mhm.
So how did you come to fall into the great abyss that is this hobby that we're all a part of?
Yeah.
So I got into Nerf through cosplay, essentially, and despite having a Fallout themed mannequin here before us, I also, and looking at my handle, I also moonlight as a Mandalorian. And although I'm the Mandalorians that can take their helmets off, obviously, um, and at one point I got it in my head, I want to be a Mandalorian and I want to put this together. And there's an organization for Mandalorians that I'm sure many of our listeners are familiar with called the 501st. And they are a
Yep.
wonderful organization. They do a ton of charity work and they're amazing. They have screen accurate costumes and they're actually featured as extras in a lot of the shows and movies. They're that good. But there's one problem. All of their blasters, my understanding, have to be completely non-functional in any, they cannot be capable of firing a Nerf dart if they originated as a Nerf blaster. And that's where I thought, well, that's no fun.
You know what
I
else?
want to be
Just let
able,
me add to that.
yeah,
Just
go
I
ahead.
know because I've sold to 501st and
Yeah,
they've
you
all
deal with it.
bought it
Yeah,
as secondaries. Yes, because even if it's non-functional, you gotta
yeah.
fill in all the screw holes on the other side as
Hmm.
well. Like I'm like, no, I'm
Everything.
out. Anyways, yes, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want to be a Mandalorian, but it'd be a lot more fun if if it could be a Nerf blaster or something, some kind of toy. So it could be fun and I could target Plink or whatever. And then I started looking into the Nerf end of it because as a kid I was interested in that stuff, but my parents were a little anti those types of toys, so I wasn't allowed to have them. So since I wasn't allowed to have them as a kid, of course I want them as an adult. And I started looking into it and realizing, oh wow, there's a whole world and community here. There's like a lot of people that do this, and some of them seem pretty cool. And then, oh, lo and behold, one of them's like basically my neighbor, aka Maritime Foam. And from there, it was just deep into the hole. That was a few years ago now. And what started with, oh, I'll thrift a couple blasters, and then next thing you know, you have hundreds, and you have to start tapering down. And then anyway, so long story short, I got involved with Nerf through cosplay. Um, for a while there, I was more into Nerf than cosplay. Both hobbies kind of have their ebbs and flows. And right now, I'm actually on probably a higher point with Nerf. I've got a lot going on with Nerf right now, or foam flinging in general, I should say. But that's
Yep.
the too long didn't read story for the rant.
No, that's perfect for the rant. Tell us about the Fallout costume because obviously the Mandalorian thing is one thing, but now tell us
Mhm.
about the Fallout and how come, like, why? And trust me, this is only a small a sample of when he goes Fallout, he goes Fallout,
Well, thank you. Yeah, you're
which
very
is
kind.
great.
It essentially, to talk about Fallout for me, I have to get a little bit personal, and I won't go too deep, but
Okay.
I'll get a little personal on it. So about 15 years ago, I had a catastrophic injury. I've got a really bad back. I've had enough. Let's just say I've had enough herniated discs that most people in my position are in wheelchairs. And I've been told the reason I'm not is because when all this started for me, I was pretty athletic. Like I was working out 6 or 7 days a week, and training martial arts with aspects to maybe go professional. And I took my fitness very, very seriously, but I also worked in nursing. And that's the number one job in the world for back injuries. And I fell victim to that. Being a guy on a nursing team, I was often the lift guy. So my job would be to lift humans that had fallen down in compromising positions. And that's really bad for your back. So I hurt my back really bad like 15 years ago, and it straight up took me to a dark place. Mentally, that's a tough thing to have to go through. For anyone, it would be. And part of what got me through that was to be able to find a form of escapism. And for me, that form of escapism was to be able to take myself from this world I'm in where I'm in pain and put myself into a different world where maybe I can do things that I can't do anymore in real life. Maybe I can go places I could no longer go. I could see things I could no longer see. And I mean, since then, 15 years ago, I've come a long way. I've got a specialist I see, and I'm back to work, and things are good. I can go and do fun things. But this escape for me was the world of Fallout, to wander the wasteland as the lone wanderer. I can't tell you how many hours I got lost in that world, and it became a very, very special place to me. And still is to this day. I still play Fallout 76 online now with hopefully some of the people we have in the chat. Hopefully, shout out Jackstar Foam, shout out brother.
Nope, he's here.
So Fallout is a very, very special thing for me, and so as when I got into the cosplay for the Mandalorian aspect, and being a Mandalorian is important to me too. I've sworn the creed. I take that seriously, but I always knew, if I'm going to really get into this cosplay, I'm going to need to make a Fallout costume, and so I've gone pretty deep to that as well. We've got a big convention here called HalCon once a year, and Jexstar and I went as Vault Guy, and he went as the Fallout 4 Ghoul salesperson, and it was great. We had a wonderful time. And it looks like we'll be going back next year. There's some talks that Maritime Foam is going to come in power armor, which would be insane. So that's kind of the
Yes,
Fallout
he
thing.
needs to.
It's a very special thing and place. It's like I explored the Commonwealth and Las Vegas and then have been to some of these places in real life, and that makes it extra special. So yeah, that's the Fallout thing for me, I guess.
I can sympathize with the back things. I also have a bad back, which has prevented me from being able to do heavy armored combat, like what I used to do, because I
Mhm.
can't put on 60 pounds of steel and swing a sword around anymore.
No, that's not good for you.
No,
That's
no.
not.
The irony is what actually really destroyed my back was not any of the dangerous stuff I did. It wasn't rock climbing or sword fighting or anything like that. It was ballroom dancing.
There you go. Yeah, what are
Of
you gonna do?
all things that laid me low, ballroom dancing. So
It
a lot
always
of
is, man. It's the
Does
little
does
things.
anyone in the chat have any questions? Because I'm starting to think like I'm not going to get off your lawn, but at some point I might want to get to work.
oh yeah,
And
you are supposed to be
together.
working on stuff, aren't you?
Um, yeah, and our wonderful gentleman behind the curtain. If my sewing machine ends up making too much noise, I can mute myself, or they can handle it
Well,
from
well,
their
we'll
end.
mute.
But
We'll mute
okay,
you.
great. And I'm happy to, if there are questions, kind of poke my head back around and answer them, or give thumbs up and thumbs down to thoughts. I'll definitely be listening in and paying attention. I can do both at once. I'm capable.
Hmm.
But I'm going to get to it.
That I very much believe. All right, get to it, man. This
Xbox,
is yeah.
yes.
For the
Ballroom
record,
dancing. I was on the ballroom dance team in college. I was also a card-carrying member of the Swing Devils in college.
yes, he was. Oh, I love
I'm
it.
going to share a
Still
secret with
have that
y'all.
card
I want to
somewhere.
share a secret.
What?
When I sew, I want to share a secret. Nobody knows this. I've never told anybody this. When
Oh,
I
Tell us.
sew, I take my shoe off. I want to be able to have total control of that pedal so I can
yeah.
literally
Yeah.
feather it with my toes.
Mm-hmm.
See, that makes sense.
Sewing
I can
secrets
support
with
that.
Foamando.
That's some kinky stuff.
Anything after that, it's only gonna be for the only phones.
Yes.
That's the extent of it.
Save that for the OnlyFans. We'll make a killing off of Foamando's footwork.
All right, let's look at the chat, man. Let's see what people got going on.
Yeah, what do we got? Captain here. What's up, fellas? Escape. Did you escape the thunderstorm Armageddon? That would explain my good footwork. Well, I also have good footwork because I did fencing for 10 years. So, um, that definitely helped the footwork. And I did fencing before I did dancing. And they very much helped each other. It turns out tango is the same footwork as Olympic fencing. Who knew?
Wow, I
A
didn't
lot
know
of
that.
ballet is based on fencing as well.
Oh, Dead Man's Foam. Dirty D has questions for you, Joe. He wants to know: you make awesome gear, but do you make awesome blasters?
The reality is I'm not as good at blasters as I am. So I'm pretty good at painting them. Not as good as you out, but I'm pretty good at painting them. I'm not awesome at soldering, and I've put together some springers, and some of my seals are good, and some of them are okay. I can make them good enough for me, but I wouldn't. I I would sell them for the paint work. Let me put it to you that way. Like I'm an average
I get
solderer.
that. Yep.
But I mean, actually, let me show this one off. There's one over here that's pretty cute. If I can find it.
It's a toy. He's got toys, and we're looking at a lot of
Oh,
toys
it's a
and
toy.
cosplaying.
It's a toy
Toys
and it's
and
painted.
toys
It's a
and
toy and it's
cosplays.
painted blue.
Oh
It's a
no!
toy and it's painted
Oh,
blue.
that might get us shut down, man. I don't know.
Okay,
But it's a
sorry,
cool
sorry,
cosplay
sorry,
toy. All right, quickly.
sorry,
That's
sorry.
okay.
It's a
That's worse.
toy. It's a toy.
That's worse, sir. That's worse, sir.
It's
Sorry,
it's still a toy.
I've got work to do.
Let's see. Yes, I fenced like Inigo Montoya. In fact, I have the patch somewhere. I think it's on my gear now. Nope, here it is. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Of course, you have the patch. Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Jexstar is also recommending Joe that you use the big toe. Use the toe, Joe. Use the toe.
Yes, I did see the Lego Dark Saber for May the 4th. I might get it. I think I will be at Bricks Cascade until the day before. So um, I may have to make an order for parts. We will see. I have ordered a lot of Lego in the last couple of days. I am building a very big ship, and I need a lot of parts. And I have about 2 weeks to finish it, and I'm hoping the parts get here in time. I should have.
What kind of ship you making?
I am making the Santa Sima Trinidad, the most heavily armed ship of the line ever built. It was the flagship of the Spanish Navy during the Napoleonic War. My previous big
I
ship
love it.
has 104 guns. The Santa Sima Trinidad had 140.
You get to keep these, right? Or you donate to the show or something.
This one I may sell. Somebody when I built my Victory and my Ajax and my Agamemnon, somebody did reach out to me and asked me if they could commission me to build the Santa Sima Trinidad, and at the time I wasn't up to it. And now I'm building it anyway, but for the life of me, I can't find the guy's contact info to go, hey, are you still interested?
No.
Because I don't have room for this, and I'd love to make some of my money back. Hopefully he will
yes.
see my video, because I'm doing the same build blog that I did for the first three, where every day that I work on it, I film what I work on that day.
That'd be cool. All right, Dead Man's Foam. Al, so what you're saying is you won't be making a Moab? That is correct. I will not be making a Moab. I love to paint and put stuff together. 3D printing, assembling, and soldering.
There is no
I can
soldering in the
somewhat
Moab.
solder.
There's no soldering in the Moab.
Oh, see, there you go.
It's
Really?
drop in. The hardware.
But I don't know.
Oh, really?
No soldering.
Oh,
It's
there we go.
all
Joe's
plug and
interested.
play.
Oh.
No solders. Not a single solder on the whole build.
Hmm.
You do need a soldering
So-
iron to put in brass inserts.
Yeah, that's fine.
If
That's
you
fine.
want to put in brass inserts, there's an option to build it with no brass inserts. It's also
Interested.
weirdly, as complicated as you think it is not a very complicated blaster. It's built on
Nice.
1880s technology. It's
Yeah.
a Gatling gun. The Gatling gun hasn't changed much. It's just a motorized Gatling gun. It's remarkably simple. It has way fewer moving parts than you think.
The big challenge for me would be printer capacity. I have an A1
Yes.
Mini, so
Yeah.
I'd be investing in a bigger printer if I took on that project.
Yeah, the only reason I was
No,
able to was
just drop off a
the-
box of filament at Anthony's house and say,
Yeah, there you
please.
go. Well, it's
I probably
more like
could. He's that nice. I probably could. It'd be more than one box, but yes.
yeah, it's more like 8
Yeah.
rolls of filament, and it's 30 days of printing.
I'll just get it delivered to his house.
And he's printing one already because I think his kit arrived, didn't it?
His kit did arrive.
It did,
He
so
is
he
working
should be.
on it.
Yeah, so just have him
I
print
do know
2 of
where
each
he
part and
lives.
you'll be set. What's
I
the
mean,
most
he's got a
hard
couple
Nerf
printers.
blaster you've ever modded? The most. I love the blaster, but I hope I never have to open it again. and that is the Soldier 77, the Colonel Wasp 77.
Oh,
Yeah, the Colonel Wasp 77. Um, it's an AEB. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite AEB that I have. It is shiny and fantastic, but the gears don't have an independent gearbox. The shell is the gearbox. And getting it back together with all the gears in there is an absolute nightmare.
oh my, no, thank you, man.
No, no, luckily, you don't have to worry about gear alignment because that doesn't matter. But just getting them all the pins lined up so that you can sandwich the shell together, it's a nightmare. Um, yes, somebody asked a great question about leather tack gear.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever made any Nerf leather tack gear. I have some Nerf leather tack gear that was made for me by Klube Leather. Made me some. Somebody else made me some, and I believe the person who previously made Judd the Aussie Nerf Cowboys gear made me a pair. Um, he now makes his own leather tack gear. There's at least two people in Australia that do it. I don't know if Klube still makes leather. I think he made me. What did he make me? I think he made me a holster. Someone else made me a pair of um, Ultra 2 holsters out of leather that are just amazing. Klube, I think, made me a generic holster, which was really cool. It has my logo embossed on it and everything. Um,
I do have the capacity to sew leather and the capability, and I've sewn a bunch of my own leather stuff.
oh,
If anyone's interested in leather, they can reach out. The tricky part with leather is it's very expensive,
yes, it is.
and my gear isn't cheap to begin with. And the one saving grace is that most of these materials are reasonably inexpensive. But once you add the cost of leather to the cost of my labor, it's going to be very expensive. And
Yeah.
so I don't know there's a huge market for it in that sense.
I've made
By the way,
leather
Joe,
armor
there
back
you
in the
go.
day when I did medieval recreation. I've made a Rohan, a suit of Rohan style armor for a friend. Uh,
Very cool.
really pretty, and I've made leather lamellar, and I've made leather bracers, and all kinds of other stuff.
I was gonna say, Joe, Dark Side Roller Chick wants to know: do you use upholstery or heavier weight thread in your tack gear?
I generally use upholstery when I can and when the color's available. If someone wants a very specific color and I can't get it in an upholstery or like a Tex 90 or something really heavy duty, I'll use a polyester. I don't like necessarily nylon for outdoors because it's subjective to UV. So I'll get a polyester in something a little light and then stitch over it like 5 or 6 times, just to super reinforce it, because some people prefer the color over the structure. But I use upholstery whenever I can get it in color that people want.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Um,
Did,
hips for leather. Um, well, if you're gonna do sewing, you're gonna have to do it by hand, which is very tedious but very solid if you use like fake sinew, or for all of the leather stitching that I've done, I use bow serving string because it is stupid strong and resilient. Um, if you really don't want it to go anywhere, rivets. Rivets are how you keep things from coming apart. Um,
Rivets are very good, very
rivets are
permanent.
solid.
yes.
If you absolutely don't want
Um,
something to come
did
apart.
you did you see what Builder BB said? Is that Brain of Survival Fest made him a leather pew pew holster?
I saw that. I use
Very
holsters,
cool.
so I've never looked into trying to figure out how to do. See, because the problem with the pew pew is the magazine's in the front, so you would need something rigid like leather or more rigid like leather. Cloth would be hard to keep it held in place because the magwell's so far forward, um, which is why I went with holster. Um, I also already had a bunch of
One workaround with
holsters.
that is with cloth. all of my holsters, I line them with EVA foam, and it helps give them a nice stiffness to help
Mhm.
keep that shape. But
Yeah,
leather is superior for that for sure. Depends on
yeah,
the leather though. A lot of what I have here is deer skin, and it's still pretty floppy compared to like a cowhide.
yeah, yeah. If you're using, clothing grade leather, yeah, it's going to be soft. If you want it to be really rigid, you can oil it or boil it or, make curboli or something. Um, which is also what you would do if you're making serious leather armor. You would actually boil it or oil it or wax it to make it more rigid. Good leather, well, like
Brains
you said,
lasting leather.
cowhide. You're going to want cowhide or similar. You're going to want a really thick leather. That's why most holsters, even for real steel, like cowboy holsters, it's a fairly thick, rigid leather. You don't want it to be soft because then it's gonna snag. You don't want it to be able to crimp and catch on your holster. You want it to be rigid. Um, so you're not going to want to use pleather or something like that. When I made holsters, I earliest ones were cardboard and duct tape and strapping tape, and then I moved on to using thin metal on the inside. I actually used sheet metal, um, which worked fairly well, actually. Inspired like holsters from Punisher in the MCU.
Love the Punisher, that works. AJ with the shaving cream with aloe really helps leather move and break in. Why am I thinking baseball gloves?
Yeah. Um,
But it's all leather. That makes sense.
yes, you can reinforce fabric with foam. That's what Foamando said. He uses EVA foam, which is perfectly legitimate. Helps it keep its shape. Gives it more substance as well.
Pads and protects what's inside. So you've got like a
Yep.
nice little carrying case for your blaster if it's something
Hmm.
important.
By the way, for those that joined the stream late, if y'all don't know what Foamando is doing, he is actually making a custom dump pouch. The colors are purple and
Blue.
Yes.
blue. Purple and blue dump
Purple
pouch.
and blue.
At the end of the stream, he will mail this to one lucky watcher and listener, viewer, one of you all. We will select it randomly. Randomly, I don't know about randomly. We'll probably come up with a scheme and decide who earns one today. But either way, he is shipping it global. He doesn't care because it packs up so nice. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. And again, if you had heard or if you didn't know, Joe is just that nice. And so, given the opportunity, even if he tells you no, still try to throw money at him just so he keeps on making great things.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. You want to get the thing? Yeah, speak up in chat, ask questions, be engaging.
Yes. I mean, that's how it's going to be. We're going to, whoever asks the question we like the most.
There we
That's a
go.
great idea. That's a
Makes the
really
best
cool idea.
comment. So ask
Yes.
interesting questions that are relevant to nothing at all.
On the same token, if you're
Joe,
gonna be
what is
if
your
you ask the
everyday
stupidest
carry
question,
blaster? A Jolt, a Micro?
Everyday carry. Uh, well, not to be that guy, but a Diana.
Can't.
Sorry, it's just too good. And
Yes,
it's nice and compact. It can everyday carry. As far as something like Joltish, I really like the hamster, the little tiny like size of a cell phone down to prime and
hmm,
loads one dart. I
yep.
really like the hamster as like a pocket carry, but
Hmm.
my everyday carry sidearm is a Diana. It's just too sweet. It's
Yep. Yep.
that'd be my everyday carry.
oh, also just in terms of the pouch, also do yourself a favor, and we won't count. Don't tell us or tell me now that I need to give it to you because that puts you right at the top of hell no, you're not getting it. It
Ask
drives me nuts.
ask me
Yeah,
an
don't.
actual question. We told you to ask a good question.
Correct. So that's starting
I'll
from now. If you set it up to this point, it's okay. But from now on, don't tell us, no, you need to give it to me because all you're going to get is nothing.
I heard you say it best a few years ago when I first joined in the hobby because I know, like me, you give away a lot of stuff. I've seen you do it, and I know you do it. But what's the best way to not get something free? Ask for it. And so I heard you say that, and I live by those words. I do a lot of charity work too, but if you outright ask, it's a no.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Make a new batch for caps.
Thanks, man.
Let's see. Where there was a good question. It's wanted off. Oh, what is your favorite melee weapon?
Mine?
Yeah,
Well,
all of
I'm
them.
so glad you asked. My favorite melee weapon was a gift from a friend of ours in the hobby, Joker of Doom, and that would be this toy
Oh,
TPU
Oh,
combat
the butter
knife.
knife.
nice.
I gotta get mine. The butter knife.
So this would be my favorite. I have tags with this. I've tagged Maritime Foam with this.
Oh.
Let's not talk about that game though. Let's uh, Mando doesn't like playing in the dark. Let's just say that.
I've got a wide variety of melee weapons. I've got a large foam machete and a foam kukri that I used at Afterworlds that are really quite fabulous. I've been using a pair of the Walking Dead katanas as melee weapons for a long time. Absolutely saved my bacon at RAG 2018 in the final stand because they were foolish enough to allow us to have melee. Um,
Ah,
I will die on the hill that humans should not be allowed to have melee in HVZ, but if they're foolish enough to let me have a sword, I'm bringing a sword. Swords don't run out of ammo.
they never do. No, you don't have to reload either. Yeah, Joker of Doom. Yeah, he calls him the butter knife, and it's perfect. It just looks cool. That alone, and again, custom colors. Never mind, you pull it out, and yeah,
I don't have one. I'm gonna have to reach out to him.
love it. Yes,
I
I
don't
also
think there's a
really
need a
lot of
like
badge.
them out there. I think they're somewhat rare.
my favorite
They are.
official Nerf melee is the Doomlands dagger because it has a knuckle duster and I like knuckle dusters.
Oh, that's right. I know the little foam machete, the zombie strike. Those are always pretty cool, man. The zombie strike foam
Yeah,
machetes that they had.
I've got those. I've
Another
got
really
those, and
fun
I've
one
got
that I have right
bayonet
here.
grips for it, so you can attach it to Molly.
And Strike Axe. This one's always a
The
favorite.
Oh
axe,
yeah.
I
axe
like
was a
this one
fun
a
one.
lot. You can just pull it out. I like this
Yep.
one. This one's fun. That was a gift from
Uh-huh.
Maritime Foam.
Ha! Of course it was.
Of course
Was
it
it a
was.
gift or helping him actually like alleviate his space?
I think you know the answer to that.
It was both.
I think you know the answer to that, Al.
Oh, where is it? I gotta find mine.
What are we looking for?
When I find it, I will tell you. It was over here. Where'd I put it? Oh, that's what happens when you get old and you reorganize things. You go back to where it was originally, then forget that you put it in a better place. Instead of walking across the room, it's like literally to the left of me. Oh yeah, so there we go. We have foam machete,
I like this one
the chainsaw. Yes, that's a cool one.
because it's a blaster.
Yes, it is. Where is I had a mace. And I put it somewhere and I don't know where I put it.
Oh, I found another good one. One, I found my
These I've never
Doomlands
used
one that
yet,
I
but
added
still.
Velcro to, so I could actually just attach it to a bit of Velcro that I
Oh,
put
that's
on my
cool.
tack gear. So I just
Yeah.
I have the foam Nerf Wii bat attachment, which is a great little club.
Oh, I like that. And obviously, oh, there we go. Because everyone needs a sword. And more swords.
After years, I finally got my hands on the Doomlands axe. I didn't buy one when they were in stores, and then they just
Oh, let's see it.
disappeared.
Man, those were not coming.
I also like this one
wow.
because it's also a blaster.
What? Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I
Yeah, we're
wouldn't
not large children at
ever
all.
hit somebody with it, but it's funny.
That's not the point. Yes, it is.
There was another
I
zombie
had
story
one of
that
the.
was basically a wooden fish bat, and I love that one. And
Yes,
I'm not sure where mine are. I think they're in the undisclosed bunker at this point.
probably. Oh, but yeah, so much fun with the melee stuff.
I've collected an odd number of the big end strike axes. They keep showing up for some reason.
Oh, that's pretty good, man.
I've got 3 of them now, and the mace, and the sword, and the little dagger. I've got 4 of the shield. What do we got going on?
Well, Joe, again, back to your trade
Marauder.
from Dark Side Roller Chick.
Mhm.
What tools do you always keep within arm's reach of your workstation?
Who are we talking to?
Snips,
For Joe.
always, 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 always snips.
Hmm.
Never. Quilting ruler, always.
Ooh.
Quilting ruler.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Good shears, always. Good shears.
Yep.
Lots and lots of clips.
Clips.
I don't like pins. I only use pins where I have to. I'd much rather clip things together.
Hmm.
And those are my go-to. There's usually some Velcro and some webbing and some paracord and all the sort of materials around. But as far as tools, I really like those. This is another pair of mini snips. It's just if you don't leave them by your machine, you end up with more like loose threads and stuff like that. So you'll see me pick something up and pip, 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 and I'm just trying to sort of clean up after myself as I go.
Yep. Yep.
That
That's
makes
a good
sense.
question, though. It's a very good question.
All of my tools are within arm's reach of my workbench.
That's a good answer.
I designed this place that way.
And that's a good way to design. And essentially, like my stuff isn't far. I have a tool chest full of Gridfinity, 4 feet from right there. These drawers in my sewing desk also full of Gridfinity and supplies. So like I could grab other tools here. I've got a walking foot there if I need to throw it on. But those are the ones that don't even make it into the drawer that stay right here by the machine.
Follow-up question is what? No double-sided tape?
I do. I think I know who that is. I do have a little double-sided tape. I think I'm feeling this one's a little personal. Once upon a time, I kind of turned my nose up at double-sided tape because I thought of it as an unnecessary shortcut. But there's nothing wrong with if there's a material that will allow you to do something you wouldn't otherwise do, then it isn't really a shortcut, is it? You're using it at that point as a tool. I do use double-sided tape. I don't always use it, but I'm not using it tonight. There are a couple applications where it would be handy. And if the person who I think it is asking this question, if it is that person, they make a mean dump pouch themselves. Just saying. But yes, I do use double-sided tape.
When did I start in the Nerf hobby? I got into Nerf in 2012, I believe. Early, like January of 2012. I just graduated college, and that was when I first got into an HVZ as an NPC. And it's been all downhill since then.
Yes.
A lot of LARP safe melee weapons. Yeah, that's the thing is if it's safe for LARP, it's almost certainly going to be safe for Nerf. Not always. Some LARPs are a little bit harder because they actually wear armor or helmets or whatever. It kind of depends on the LARP, but things like Belagarth or Ampguard, those are almost always going to be LARP safe because they don't wear helmets. They also generally don't allow headshots, but that's good when you don't wear helmets. You shouldn't do headshots if you're not wearing
No, yeah,
helmets.
probably a good idea. I like AJ's response. Tools. I just use a multi-tool, my teeth, and a pair of nail clippers.
When I first met Wacom S7, I was
Yeah,
absolutely baffled by his lack of tools, given the mods that
really.
he was able to build. Because he built things, doubled blasters, and he built
That's
the
right.
the deleter and all of these the paradigm shift, all of these incredible mods, but didn't own a pair of files and didn't have a bandsaw and didn't have, or you're like, what? How? How do you
Yes.
not have tools? But he
And
was just
why are you making it so
really
difficult for yourself?
creative with the very few tools that he had and had gotten really good at using them. And that I could
Hey, that sounds like
understand.
someone who designs blasters with a slicer program.
That's about what I was going to say. Yes, I got very good at not knowing how to 3D design. Now I know enough to at least use Tinkercad, to at least pretend like I'm using a software development tool. Uh,
Ah,
but yeah. Yes, where there is a will, there is a way. And as I always said, with enough epoxy, anything's possible. It
well,
always
for
kind of
me, like
baffles me
for
when
my,
people ask, is it possible to do this? And you're like, we have spaceships. The level
so
of
yes.
technology and what we are capable of doing, yeah, it's possible. Is it going to be easy? Is it going to be cheap? That's not what you asked. You asked if it was possible.
That makes it different.
What was the best HVZ I ever did? I still consider RAG 2018 to be one of my favorite. Um, but the Maryland Mayhem, when we actually had a full 30-man auxiliary and crew squad, was also the culmination of a dream of mine to go to an HVZ that big with that good of a company, and have it just go flawless. Um, the reason I still put RAG 2018 at the top of my list is because we managed to achieve a human victory, which human victories in HVZ are practically unheard of. But RAG 2018 wasn't supposed to even have a human victory condition. The Last Stand was supposed to be a battle of attrition where they just kept throwing waves of zombies at us until they got us all. The problem is we held so well, they ran out of time. We literally ran the clock on the event, and the humans ended up winning, which was amazing.
Yo, Dead Man's
Especially
Foam
because
wants
by
to
the
know
end of it,
Springer
I
or
was out of
Flywheeler.
ammo. I had an empty auto strife and a sword and was just screaming my defiance at the horde, um, and somehow still made it through.
For the question, can you say that again for me, Al? Dead
Springer or
Man's Foam had a
Flywheeler.
question. Springer primary flywheeler sidearm is my favorite. Right now, my Kieran set up for angled talons with a
Ooh,
Diana as a sidearm. That's my kind
that's
of go-to.
that's solid.
The angled, I know the Kieran does shells, and I know shells are fun and cool. But the when the Kieran's set up for the angled talons, I watched the Bradley Phillips video on it, and I don't know if it's something about the way it seals or bores. It's over my head, but it just shoots lasers. It's absolute laser beams at about 200 FPS, which is our outdoor pro cap, and it's great. And then if anyone gets close, pull out the Diana. So it's a good combo.
Yeah, Afterworlds is uses Nerf weapons as well as a lot of buffers. Um, More buffers than blasters because in Afterworlds, ammo is a commodity and it's a difficult commodity. You don't get to reuse your ammo. Whereas again, your sword doesn't run out of bullets. So Most people stick to melee as much as they can, especially since there are a lot of zombies and monsters and undead and stuff you have to fight. They typically don't have blasters, so you don't have to worry about that. You can just close to melee. Yes, me with a sword is very dangerous. This is why I said they shouldn't allow humans in HVZ to have swords. But the couple of times that they've allowed it, I definitely brought one.
Who was the guy that you guys show up at? It comes to your house, but then also Borst, the sword guy with the shield. He's just devastating.
There's a couple. Oh, you're probably thinking Smargassi, Smargassi. Yeah,
Yes, Jacob, that's it. He
yeah.
is just
He goes all the way back to some of the earliest HVZs. He was at WSU with Sergeant Deplorable and Andrew, or with Rocket. Um, and he was deadly then too. I remember him flying through an entire horde armed with, I think it was a Ravonix, so Vortex, and just shredded the horde and made off with an objective that they were guarding. Just never slowed down. It was amazing to see. It's like, what was that?
this guy. Yeah, this guy, Jacob. So I think both times I came out and with wars, he comes out with his sword and his shield, and he is it's not fair. The man is that good.
Yeah, he's fast
And
and he knows how to use the shield and sword well. And
oh
like in
my
my
God,
arena,
he
it's so
baits
close
people.
quarters that when someone gets in close with a sword, it's real hard to be able to get to shoot their feet. That you just don't have time.
Yes, and he knows how to bait people into it, and you see it happening. You're like, that was cool, and you're looking at him like, I know what movie he's gonna do, and he does it, and it's like flawlessly. It's like, man, that okay. Um, Wherever he's going, I'm gonna go the other way.
Yep, let's see. Have you guys ever used the Vulture by Shellington Arms? Nope.
Yeah, mine's where did I put mine? Oh yeah, mine's right there.
Yeah. Yes, we both have Vultures and they are fabulous.
Hmm. Well, ours from MHP Arms,
Yeah,
Mr. Heat Pants. Yeah.
yeah, MHP Arms Company makes the Vulture.
Yes.
The Shellington is a different blaster,
Yes.
and I don't have one.
No.
Do I remember Shining Foam? No. Shining?
Same.
Don't remember a Shining Foam. So we got, what do we got? What do we get? One thing I need to finish designing is a Nexus Pro X stock cap replacement with built-in mag holders. Yes. Yes.
That'd be pretty handy. Yes,
Early
please.
Amanda was talking about the different materials used for dump pouches now was opposed to when he first started. What are the qualities of the new fabric? I assume it's thicker, stiffer, more rigid.
Yeah, so that's generally what I'm looking for. And what that often ends up being is something heavier duty, like a rainwear. One of my top choices, and double-sided tape might recognize this, is Canada Goose rainwear. It's
Oh,
really it's an actually Captain, your dump pouch orange black. I
Yeah.
think your black bag might be the Canada Goose.
Ah.
So rainwear is a really
hmm,
good choice. What I'm using tonight and what I use for a lot, a while back, I'm not there anymore, but a while back I got a job at my local fabric store, and it was mainly to make connections and shout out double sided tape. Double sided tape is one of the most talented individuals I've ever met, and one of my best friends, frankly. So I'm just meeting that person alone made that job worth it. But I got a lot of good deals on materials, and even now to this day, I have a wholesale account there, so I get good prices. And this stuff is custom high end drapery. And I picked it because a lot of the times with fabrics, you need to touch it.
oh,
You can see it on the internet, but seeing it on the
Yes.
internet is one thing, touching it is another. The cool thing about this is it's also, I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, it's color shift.
Oh,
So this is almost a blue green color shift,
yeah.
and but it's also, the main thing is it's got that stiffness, and because it's synthetic, while this stuff might not be completely waterproof, it's going to have good water resistancy. It's not like a cotton that's just going to absorb that moisture. But the thickness is the main thing I'm looking for. But yeah, the Canada Goose rainwear is nice. And this stuff, like I say, this is a high-end custom drapery, and so that's a popular one as well. It was available in a bunch of fun colors, and I bought it all of it. That's what you do.
Smart man.
All right, where was I? Blue. Yes.
Get back to work.
Get back to work.
Welcome to Get Off My Lawn, where now we include slave labor as part of our broadcast.
It's
We're
not
sent
bad,
to a
right?
sweatshop in Canada.
I
So
knew we were
you,
going
somebody
this
on this channel
direction.
will get a free dump pouch from our sweatshop in Canada.
Canadian sweatshop. Oh, love it.
It's not a sweatshop.
Delivered by
Canadians are
Canada
just too
Goose.
nice. We just tricked them.
It's cold up here. We don't sweat. It's an ice shop. It's not
Yeah,
a
there we
sweat
go.
shop.
That's right.
How they stay warm.
Ain't that the truth, man?
Uh,
Oh my God.
Generally, I stay warm. I go outside and I find, I believe they're called a bantha, and I use a lightsaber and I cut one open, and then I pull out its guts and I sleep inside. That's usually my go-to, because if left alone in the elements, it's Canada. You'll die.
yeah. There's got to be a
What
better
do you-
option. Banthas are only lukewarm inside.
Well, igloos are not as common as people think in Canada, so we have to rely on banthas
Well, that's true. It could be warm. It could be hot.
or moose.
Moose.
I fit in a moose.
Moose
are big
have
enough
you
I
ever
fit
seen
in
a
one.
moose in person? Have you ever seen one for real?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're huge.
one.
It's terrifying.
They are terrifyingly huge. They are bigger than you'd think. They are really, really
They
big.
are a leftover megafauna, is what they are.
That's
Yes.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
They're
Them
just
and elephants and giraffes.
yes.
They're just weird looking. We're just used to it because we've been seeing pictures of them our whole life. But if you'd only grown up in America and never seen a picture of a giraffe, you'd only seen horses and cows and pigs and normal animals, and then someone showed you a picture of a giraffe, you'd think it was made up.
You're right.
Truth.
Because there is nothing else that looks like a giraffe on the planet.
No. Yeah. Well, isn't it the assumption that octopi are actually alien creatures? Because there is no
there.
I thought it was jellyfish.
No, there's actually no straight line where they probably showed up in a meteorite or something from some other place because they're just weird and there's no direct line.
Here.
Yeah.
I don't trust fungus.
Never mind.
Is this tinfoil hat on Get Off My Lawn this evening?
Yes.
Or what are we doing?
This year,
It
we've now
is,
got
yes.
a tinfoil hat. We're talking about theories and conspiracies.
All right. I love that you see octopus sitting there and just randomly punch a fish because that it points for that, man.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm back to the moose. Moose are also very territorial and quite dangerous. Yes, I am more afraid. There we go. I am more afraid of moose than I am of bears.
Yeah, they're more dangerous.
Yes.
Well, depending on the
That's
bear.
scary.
Polar bears will eat you.
Polar bears are vicious. They'll eat everything.
Yeah. Black bears are cowards. They'll run away.
Grizzlies, depending on the grizzly.
Yeah. Depends on how hungry they are.
Oh my God, yes.
Are you
We should
gentlemen
get back
saying
to,
this from experience?
Well, there's a story about a man who was prospecting in the Yukon, and he was leading a mule train along a mountain track and met a grizzly bear coming the other way. There was nowhere for him to go. He couldn't back a mule train up the path. So he loaded his musket and he shot the bear, which got the bear's attention more than anything else. So he reloaded his musket and shot the bear again, which of course just annoyed the grizzly bear because this is a Kodiak grizzly. So it charged him, at which point he pulled out his Colt revolver and put 6 rounds into the bear's head, which just annoyed it further. He then got out, as the bear closed, he got out his tomahawk and hit the bear multiple times, eventually burying the tomahawk in the bear's skull and breaking the handle off. At which point he pulled out his Bowie knife while being mauled by this bear and stabbed it until the Bowie knife blade broke off, at which point the bear killed him. And they were able to recreate or figure out what had happened because the bear then took 3 steps and keeled over dead. And they were able to figure this all out by, okay, they found the skeletons. They're like, okay, well, this bear has 2 musket balls in it, 5 or 6 rounds of 45 in its skull, a tomahawk, multiple stab wounds, and a broken Bowie knife. They found the man with the Bowie knife handle, and just like, okay.
Cap, you'd have made a fun history teacher.
Yeah. Yeah. I like telling stories. What do we got?
Yeah, what's the chat saying?
Somebody wants to know 2,000 pounds of moose versus 2,000 pounds of geese.
Moose all the way.
Is the goose frozen and being dropped from an extreme height?
2,000 pounds of it. You don't have to. They're vicious little Canadians.
I suppose they are. A lot of mallards are pretty brutal, actually. I've watched some documentary on various mallards, and the animal kingdom is a rough place.
Yeah, nature wants you dead. Somebody pointed out that Ragnar Oktoberfest was the start, really the birth of the auxiliary within the Nerf world for as long as it lasted. Because I was made captain of one of the teams at RAG 2018, and I decided to go full captain and organize into squads and had NCOs, and it was absolutely awesome. We had people from other teams notice the difference in our organization and how much fun we were having, and it really worked out well. And it was a lot of fun, so I decided to then launch the auxiliary so that I could do that at more events, and then things just spiraled out of control. But it was a lot of fun for a long time, and RAG was the birth of it. And I was there, Walcom, Lucha Thor, Nikon, Sergeant Deplorable. Brett was there, though he was leader of a different team. Out of Darts was there. He was the leader of the 3rd team.
So maybe explain to our listeners, in case anyone doesn't know, how it's different with RAG, how you've got PV.
Yeah, so RAG is a fairly unique event with the way they do their humans versus zombies, because it's actually humans versus humans versus humans versus zombies. So there are 3 human teams fighting each other while the apocalypse is happening. It is also an event where ammo is a commodity. You can reuse darts, but you can't bring your own. You start out with a certain number of darts, and then there are ammo caches throughout the event that you're trying to gather. That's one of the things you're fighting over, is ammo, because there isn't enough to go around. You have a certain number of respawns if you get tagged by humans, that you just go back to your base and respawn. If you're tagged by a zombie, you immediately become a zombie. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. There are puzzles you're trying to solve. There's things you're trying to unlock. There are things that earn you points, your team points, and at the end of the game, they determine which team got the most points, and that team wins. But ultimately, you all end up uniting at the end to fight some massive boss that they've created that are absolutely incredible, with electronic scoring targets, and RAG is a whole nother level. I
also love the fact that before the final boss, they give a lot of people the option to respawn just to be part of that.
Yeah, they rebalance at the end. A lot of people have the opportunity to switch back to humans if they want to.
Some of us travel a long way to go to these events.
Yeah, and there's a lot of super zombies. They not a huge variety of super zombies, but they do have super zombies that require like mega or whatever to take out. Um, there are ways to become super zombies, I think, in some games where
Correct.
once you got 5 tags, you became a super zombie or things like that. Um, it's a lot of fun.
I went last
2018.
year. I'm going this year.
Yeah, I'm going this year as well because there's no Mall Madness. Usually Mall Madness and RAG are the same month, and I have to pick which one to go to. And I'm a pick Mall Madness if it's an option, but it's now every other year. So every other year I'll go to RAG, and the other year I'll go to Mall Madness, which is fantastic. Um,
So
2018 was cool. The big round two, I believe, we were trying to find all of the parts to build our captain's super weapons. So each person had a high capacity weapon of one kind. I had Frigga, my modified Prometheus. Um, Brett had Mr. Beer, which was a nemesis with a big uh, beer tank on it for more ammo. And Out of Darts was rocking dual proton packs. Um, but we had to unlock them and then get the ammo for them. And the three team captains actually came together and said, "Look, we all want our super weapon because when we go to the last stand, all the teams are going to be combined. So can we just call a truce until everyone has unlocked their super weapon and then we'll go back to fighting each other?" And we agreed and we did it and so we all had our super weapons going into the last stand and it was a good
That's
thing
awesome.
because we needed the firepower.
That's really cool.
What and where is glass? Which one is that?
What?
Somebody said that I need
Not
to go to
familiar.
class in July, and I want to know where it is because that will determine whether I'm willing to go there in July.
Oh. Also, in
One
the
of the events I
meantime,
do plan to go to is an event in Wisconsin, which I don't, that might be glass. I don't know. But there's an event in Wisconsin I want to go to because it's an hour from the Root Beer Museum.
that's key.
Ah, there we go.
Milwaukee,
Yeah,
Wisconsin. Yep.
yeah. So glass. I'm planning to go to glass. That is on my list of events to attend this year.
That's in July.
Apparently.
When in July? Give me a day, people. In the meantime, our team member, Trey Devil, part of the Mega Double XLs, he had a question for Joe. He says, hello, good people. Joe, I do not see your infamous quick on the board.
Ah, well, that would be because this is my Fallout board, and the Quick is part of the Mando loadout. So, and
Ah.
pardon me, Trey. I'm sorry, brother. Um, but I do love it. I do have a holster for it, and it's a lot of fun. But the Mando loadout is separate from the Fallout loadout. So, next time, if y'all want to have me on again, I'll come on as Mando.
We'll have to have some kind of cosplay event.
I may have to
That
try
works.
the Discord on that. Yeah, someday I want Mando armor. I've always wanted to make it. Um,
I need to make Mando armor. I'm like 2 years late making my Mando armor.
yeah.
I'm a
Uh,
Mandalorian without armor. What's my excuse?
before I got into Nerf, I did medieval recreation. I've made suits of armor, so my Mando armor will be metal.
Well, I actually just this evening reached out to double-sided Cape Size Prints, and who has a high capacity, like a high volume 3D printer, and was like, "Hey, I need armor. Can you help?" So we'll get there eventually, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. That was one thing that I
Mine are
used to
definitely
be
gonna be
very
football pads.
confused why people who did cosplay did it the way they did it rather than, when they make cosplay armor, it's always foam or plastic or something. Um, and then I went to a con wearing armor and I realized, oh, I'm going to be standing around for the next 8 hours or more in 60 pounds of steel. That's why they make it out of plastic and foam.
Yep,
But
Uh-huh.
they definitely should learn some of the techniques for making real armor because it'll make their foam armor fall apart less.
agreed.
More rivets, less hot glue. For the love of God, more rivets, less hot glue.
Yeah, that's yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Part of the problem they run into is
yeah.
they're trying to recreate video game armor, which doesn't necessarily follow the laws of physics.
No, it often doesn't.
How
It
they
really doesn't.
attach, like, how is that attached? What is holding that in place? There's no
Magic.
straps. Is it just magic? And so they
It's
often they'll
magic.
do stuff with magnets or Velcro on the
You actually,
inside, so you can't see what's holding it on, and it looks
magnets
great.
and Velcro
God,
are
is it impractical?
quite popular. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Makes it real easy to take off, makes it easy to adjust, but it makes it more fragile. I've seen a
Mhm.
lot of videos of people having their cosplays fall apart at cons because it was all hot glued or whatever, held on with
Oh
magnets and
yeah.
they weren't strong enough and or stuff like that. Um,
That's where the rivet is the best.
Rivet is the best. Even if I mean you use like
So the
snap
local ones,
top rivets, that's still better than nothing.
yeah,
You don't need to actually,
or Chicago screws.
lean over. Yeah, Chicago screws. You don't actually
Chicago
need to
screws are
lean over a
outstanding.
steel rivet.
I was gonna say, like the conventions, the local conventions I do, there is always one. It's sometimes the same guy, but it's definitely a couple of people where you've seen them. It's a guy with a cart and a sign, cosplay repair, and just
Yep.
walks around, and he has everything
I would
that you might need.
love to do that someday to put together a cosplay repair kit, um, and go to conventions and just repair people's stuff just because it would be fun.
All right, next year I'm going back on the circuit again. You're gonna come out for one of them. We'll get you a
Okay.
cart, and away you go. And body
Uh,
cam footage. We'll set you up with the body cam.
if,
That'd be some great footage. The interactions with
if
people.
anyone's
How'd you break it? What'd you do? How'd
wondering
you fix
what
it?
I'm doing,
What are
I'm
you doing?
switching machines. I'm switching machines because
Ooh.
I'm at the point in the bag where I need to sew around the opening. And that machine is too physically big. Sometimes a sewing machine can be too big because this will not fit around the arm or whatever of the sewing
Oh,
machine.
okay. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I'll bring in a smaller one that has a cuff attachment that's meant for making
Yep.
sleeves.
Yep.
And I will finish the opening of the bag on this machine.
Right tool for the right job.
Exactly.
Once
Everything
again, for
looks
those
like a
joining
nail
late,
if all you have is a hammer.
that's true. For those joining late, what's happening is that one Foamando is making one of his custom pouches. It's going to be purple and blue, and we are giving it away at the end of the stream. Oh, and rule one: don't ask for it. Don't
Don't
tell us
ask
to
for
give
it.
you free stuff.
You will earn it by asking cool questions and interacting with the chat. We
Yeah.
need the chat. We need more interaction, more questions. What did I get going on? Nothing.
By the way, Dark
Nothing.
Side Roller Chick said, I've done cosplay first aid at our local con for the last 4 years, and I couldn't agree more with less glue, more rivet positions.
Yes.
Okay, did you say the use? Can we get that username again? That's Dark Side Roller Chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my
Side
best
roller
friends.
chick.
They that person also has worked the repair stations at conventions and has experience with
There you
that.
go.
Yep, that is
That
what they said.
person's one of the most talented people I've ever met or worked with in my life, and is a real highlight. Being friends with that person is a real highlight of my life. So we put enough clues
Nice.
together. I know who that is. That's someone very special to me. So thanks for
Ah,
tuning in.
Yep, less glue,
there you
more
go.
rivets. What brand of sewing machine are you using?
Builder
This is
B
a
needs to know.
Ken.
A
This is
what?
a Kenmore.
Oh, very nice.
And this is
Oh.
actually a mid 1960s Kenmore. And the bigger machine that I have been using is I want to say, a early 2000s FAF, and the FAF is my go-to. I use the FAF for everything I can use the FAF for. I do have a Barracuda walking foot, which is essentially a Sailrite clone, that's for like leather and ultra heavy duty things the FAF can't handle. But the FAF can handle just about anything and is super smooth and super awesome. And I love it. But this Kenmore has been very reliable. A lot of the gear I've made has been made on this Kenmore, and machinists from that era, you're going to see more metal, less or no plastic, and that's the key. For me anyway. I want something heavy duty built to last.
Yeah. I used to have a really nice Singer I lost
Mhm.
it in my friend's divorce, which just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, how does that work? Never mind. Never mind. I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
long story. But I lost my good sewing machine in his second divorce, even. I officiated
Nice
his
and
Well,
loud,
first
but what the
marriage
hell?
on the agreement
the right pedal. If I
if
use
it
this
went
one, it'll
sideways.
work.
Nice.
All
All
right,
right,
I'm
let's
using
see.
the
Let's see
wrong
what we
pedal.
got in
Wasn't
the
going.
questions. Everyone survived the Hail Mageddon. Do I believe that the Hana is a good upgrade for the Spamp? Absolutely. The Hana is a svelte little number. It's a half dart alpha trooper. I love it. Um, and I just got one. Do you have a foam Grogu for your Mando gear to use as a throwable?
I do not, but I would like to have one. I would also like to have a life-size cosplay Grogu. Would be
Hmm.
very cool to carry around as Mando, and would fit nicely in a leather bag like this. That I could make the bag. Funny enough, on Kickstarter, there's a Kickstarter for a stuffy that's taken right from the game of Fallout. It's a Slocum's Joe donut shaped stuffy, and it's really interesting. Sometimes when something is smaller, it's harder to make because getting details into something then that
Mhm.
small is the challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, a Grogu back to the original a Grogu foam throwable would be amazing. That's a really cool idea.
Does anyone make a good foam, like a throwable foam um, thermal detonator? Surely somebody does.
That'd be cool too.
That would also be very
Oh,
cool.
there we go. That's a great idea.
I also feel like some of these things could be 3D printed at a TPU. We're at that level with the technology.
We are getting there.
Yes.
Should I make the mag holders detachable? When in doubt, make it modular. Always.
When in doubt, make it modular. I agree.
Yeah. Make the mag holders rail attach and then put rail on it. And there you go. I use high strength wax cotton on my cosplay as well as pop rivets with small stainless steel washers. Yeah.
This is this rig is made out of wax canvas, and it's held up really, really well. It's been great. Yeah, love the waxed. Good stuff.
Oh yeah, Joe, tell us about.
Yeah,
And I know Maritime has one, and you have one. Your version of the chest rig. I know Anthony likes
actually,
wearing that.
he has a bando. He has the bandolier version. This chest rig, this is my own design. This is set up essentially to use a placard system. So let's grab these here. These pieces here on the top, these are what we call G hooks because they're shaped like a G. So the idea being I'm wearing this and this has Velcro and Molly, like this is all mollied up. This is a pocket. You keep a map or whatever in there. And you could put your stuff right on here if you want. But if you want a quick swap system, you put the G hook on and it Velcros straight on. So from here you could have whatever you want. Like here I have a placard loaded up with my Mazo mag holders because they're the best. They're amazing. So that would load right on. Here I have one loaded up with nothing. And that's for when I play games with 10-year-old kids with stock Nerf blasters because they think the unicorns are
Love
fun.
it.
Um, I've set mine up to have a tube style quick detach, so that pulls on and off nice and easy.
Nice.
But it could also be done with the standard, like the more classic parachute style buckles like these. I've got mine set up for a stretch yoke in the back. Some people prefer a molly in the back, but I built this for comfort. And then the back belt, it might be hard to see because it's black, but this is actually elastic molly, so it
Oh,
stretches, but it also lets me load stuff on. So if I need another dump pouch,
that's
there we go.
amazing. That is
And
super
yeah,
cool.
so that's my design. Another little feature on the back, we've got some padded mesh for breathability and comfort, but that also creates a sandwich so that underneath you could put like a dangler pouch system and mount it up in that way. And then of course, if you wanted to fully build this thing out, you could put like an admin pouch here, and then you'd have
Mhm.
that like full plate carrier style coverage without being a plate carrier. So I designed it with modularity in mind,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's my system. So I haven't actually sold any of these because I haven't put them up yet. I've been too busy play testing it. And I did. A friend of mine is a pattern maker, and I have his permission to sell his designs as well. So I have sent one of those out into the wild. A friend of ours is kind of testing that out, but I got to be honest, no offense to my buddy, but I like my design better. So I might just stick with that. The G Hook placard system is really, really nice to be able to just like quick swap out. I'd like to have one just for silly shells. That's actually something else I should shout out. I've been working with Foam Blasted. By working with, I mean he made these for me because he's a genius, and I just had the idea. This is a dual silly shell holder with a nice flat surface to put. This is 1.5-inch hook Velcro. So the idea being, with all these pieces of loop Velcro, this can stick on here nicely, but then these can pop off for double loading.
Nice.
And if you wanted even better
I like
adhesion,
that.
I'd make a placard where the whole
Yeah.
thing was loop Velcro. There was no spacing, and then you'd have even better adhesion. But that you have to you have to pull that off. If you're just pulling the shells, it's no problem. And then from there, we can double load our shells if we own a breacher or maybe are getting one.
Yeah.
So that's shout out to Foam Blasted. He designed these and they're awesome. Super easy, quick 1 hour print, little piece of Velcro. I think he's got a Picatinny version and he's going to do a traditional Molly version as well. But I really like the quick swap of Velcro for something like a real world firearms type application. You wouldn't want that, but we're playing Nerf, right?
Yeah.
I want it to hold securely, but not necessarily have my life depend on it, right? So I really like the Velcro for that. Those are great. But yeah, that's my chest rig, and now back to work.
See, somebody asked, what did they ask? I think I've already mentioned an HVZ in a mall in Pacific Northwest. Was that in Portland? Yeah. So we did a number of events at a place called the Lloyd Center Mall in Portland, Oregon, and part of that included an HVZ at the end of the day. We haven't done a full game. We were talking about it, but weren't realized we weren't ready for a full scale invitational yet. We are still working towards that, but someday we want to have an invitational up in the Pacific Northwest. We've run out of excuses since half the people that sponsor the big events are from here. And yet we haven't had our own invitational, mostly because everyone up here is sponsoring everyone else's invitationals. And busy with jobs that allow them to
What?
have
No.
money to sponsor other people's invitationals. So,
Well, there's that.
Yeah. Let's see, what else do we have? Apparently, Vader from the Irregulars has a couple of HVZ safe foam thermal detonators. I don't know if they were custom made or if they are.
Lucky finds in a toy store.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a possibility.
I'd definitely be interested in that.
That would be very
But
cool,
at the
man.
same time, on the Fallout side of things, throwable mini nukes would be fun too. Sorry if this is noisy, friends. This machine's not as quiet as the fast.
One of these
I'm
days,
almost
I'll
done.
get around to designing the shoulder-mounted nuke launcher that actually fires Nerf rockets.
Yeah, I support that. I think that's necessary. Oh, there you go. You already have a volunteer.
What?
I'd be happy to help with the Pacific Northwest HVZ Invitational, Lego boy.
Oh yeah, someday. It is closer than Ohio. Yeah,
Just a little bit.
The original plan was we wanted to hold it at Lloyd Center, but they're tearing down Lloyd Center, so we may not have that option anymore. Speaking of throwables,
No,
Steer
clearly.
has throwables. I don't know what they're supposed to be. It's a cylinder.
Oh yeah,
Looks like it's
the
leaking.
thing. That's what leaking stuff.
But I got two of them. Whee!
Ooh, mine hasn't come in yet. I'm on the back end of it, but that's okay.
Not sure if they were custom or just thermal detonator stress ball. Yeah, see, that would be the easiest way, is just a stress ball with the thermal detonator pattern printed on it.
Yeah. So I'm waiting to ask Joe because I want to know about his bandolier. Because I've seen
Yeah,
Anthony
what's
where it
up?
looks very comfortable, but I'm also waiting.
Yeah,
Just
no,
tell us about the
I can talk
bandolier,
it.
man.
So the Bando is essentially a invert clone or ripoff. That's what most people are going to know it as if you look online and look up INVRT. Now the reality is, and those that know their Get Off My Lawn history, my first time on Get Off My Lawn was as a call-in, and I called in asking a question about something that y'all folks had just signed an NDA for. So it created a bit of an awkward moment, but essentially, an
That's
invert
right.
is, from my perspective, a ripoff of what's called an Alaskan chest holster. And the idea being that you're gonna, let me just grab
That's
one
it.
real quick. You're gonna be wearing these things angular, and it's designed in a way so you can wear it inside or outside your coat. And Scared did release one, and their bando is nice. My bando is a little different than theirs, but essentially, this is something that you're going to wear this way, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to have your mags
Yes.
coming out this way. You can. The nice thing about them is they're really, really fast to just throw on. I don't have the extra strap on mine right now because I was making another one. But normally, you would just toss this on, bring the other strap up, slap it right there, and then it's locked into place. What's really nice about this is that if you're carrying, we'll stick with Nerf, a blaster. This action, the pull down from here while you gravity drop and then up into the magwell, is about as efficient a reloading action as you're going to see. It's more efficient than pulling up from a chest rig, back down, and then up into your magwell. You will, if you're really concerned with speed in a professional type environment, you'll get a little bit of time. So bandos are really nice for that as well.
Yep.
For a few features on mine, like a nice quick release piece that goes up here, so you don't have to necessarily go to the center buckle. And I also like a belt mount that brings it down to the side. That's particularly useful. Like this checkerboard, this is designed for people that are shaped a certain way, and it's not going to be comfortable for everyone. The bandolier is really comfortable for folks of all sizes. I've seen them go on people as small as like 100 pounds, and I've seen them go on folks larger than 300 pounds, and the same bandolier will fit them all. But if someone's a little bigger with maybe more of a rounder torso, clipping it down into their belt here, along with up under the arm, really helps lock everything in place. Because the idea is you want this tight. You don't want movement while you're running around. You want everything staying in place. So that's kind of the one-on-one on the bando. But I've sold quite a few of those too. They're popular for a reason. It's a really nice platform.
Yep. That was one of the first scared items.
Absolutely, and it's great. I back them. I have their bando sitting over there in blue, and it's really nice. The materials they got and the sewing quality on their stuff was pretty good. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised by how good the quality was. I was expecting it to be cheaper.
Well, considering that they have their stuff, I believe, sewn overseas, you're definitely taking a gamble with that. Let's put it to you
Yeah,
that way. So what
exactly.
I'm going to assume is that they either had or made sure that they made the right connections so that they were going to get a high quality product when they're done.
Yeah.
Um, and their stuff is mass produced, so it's a little different than obviously than what I do. But what I was really impressed with was like the thickness of the materials. It didn't feel light duty at all, so
Yeah,
that was nice.
exactly. I was definitely expecting like the nylon webbing to not be as high quality as it ended up being.
Yeah,
Uh,
same here.
so I was pleasantly
But they did
pleased.
get samples too.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Yeah, so they did it right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did.
All right, we are coming up on 10 minutes left.
Oh boy, I got
How's
10
that
minutes
dump
to
pouch
finish. I
coming
can
along?
do this. I can do it. I can do this in 10
Go,
minutes.
go, go.
Yeah, I got it.
We still
Show me
have to
work.
figure out who we're giving it to.
I know. By the way, I'm probably gonna bug you for a bando. So just letting you know, Joe.
You got it, buddy.
I have I have one of these already, but why not have more?
Yeah.
Well, I can make yours a
Because
little more custom now.
cool. I'm in.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Woo!
We'll get it figured out, but I can pick you up for sure.
Well,
The other
do
nice
we
thing
do we
about
also see
custom
who
is,
chat thinks that?
oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Joe.
The other nice thing about
No, go
custom is
ahead.
sizing, right? I've had clients
Yes.
down for like 100 pounds to 300 pounds, and if someone does need something like
hey, I bought this belt off the shelf and it doesn't fit. I've even made extenders and stuff like that. And I also try to help people, like help educate people a little bit. My gear isn't always the answer, right? If ultimately there's something else that's going to do the job better for someone, then that's what I'll recommend.
It makes total sense, but we're all very different. And it's not like it has to be one person. That's the advantage of different people doing different things. But here's a good example. Painted blasters. I'm sorry, the only good painted blasters from Al the Geek. Like, come on, really? Go find whoever does your thing and fits it, and variety, man. It's the spice of life. So I'm all for it. Builder BB suggests that my bando should have Velcro for shoulder skulls and spikes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm in.
that's a great idea, and I could do that. Yeah, that's the whole
I
point
know
of
you
custom,
could.
right? Like that's a fantastic idea.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that is good.
Don't mind me if I move
Do
a little
we?
quicker. We got 10 minutes, 8 minutes. I don't know.
No, that's okay, brother.
I gotta do
Do
it. I
we
gotta
do
do
we
it.
ask the chat to see if they nominate anybody to win, or do we trust that madness?
Ooh.
Do we trust that
All
madness?
right. Well, let's try the madness. Ultimately, we're still in control. We can just say no. But in the chat, those who have been following along, who do you think has earned the bag tonight?
Oh, like we should probably establish that the person we give it to actually wants it.
Well, there's that
Yeah.
too. And if obviously if
Or
you don't
isn't
want
a
it, just say
bot.
no. Yes.
So for those who are potentially new or who doesn't have any idea what we're talking about, Foamando is currently in the process of making a blue and purple folding dump pouch in his style. And at the end of this, we're going to give it away. We just have to figure out who to give it to. It will look like the one that Al is currently monkeying,
But with the upgraded bag, then what mine is.
but it'll be
Mine is
nice.
still a great bag, but it's just a newer version.
It won't be limp like Al's.
Um,
It's late, gentlemen.
it is.
I got this, though. I got this. I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
Well, do you have any? Are you feeling anybody there, Cap? You don't have to give
Can
the
I
name.
chime
Just tell
in?
me if you're feeling somebody.
Is there
Can I
anyone in
chime
the
in?
chat whose colors are blue and
Except
purple?
I shouldn't chime in. I should stay out of it.
No, you can chime in. Of course you can. You're making it.
No, I shouldn't. I'm going to stay out of it.
This is what makes this fair. Remember, it's different if people are buying in or like contributing money and you make it fair. This is randomly us an act of kindness to send it to somebody. What does that mean? We have complete control. We can justify what we're doing, and if nobody doesn't like it, that's fine, Joe. You put it on eBay and you sell it. That's how simple this mechanism works. So,
Put Molly on your walker. Yes, absolutely.
I got a walker.
I like
I can
it.
do that.
I like it. I should reinforce that one last time. I'm going to throw one more little seam over here because this is the high tension area. Let's just
Make that to a
We have
pitch
had,
down.
Who's
it
asked
looks
this?
like 3 votes so far for Daily Dose of Foam. Daily Dose of Foam, would you like a purple
Yep.
and blue Molly pouch? Assuming you're even still here. Did you stick with us to the end? If you haven't stuck with us, you get nothing.
And also ask Daily Dose of Foam if they are on Instagram or Discord or Facebook Messenger. Because if you're not on one of those three, I don't know how we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably follow Daily Dose of Foam. It sounds familiar. And I'm just putting the finishing touches on this now, so we should be good for time.
Nice. Perfect for presentation. I like
Yeah,
it.
I'll have it done in a second here. I was just putting the knot work in the pull tab.
Who else we got that's asked a lot of questions? That wasn't too bad. Well, your friend, but then you said that that person can actually make their own much better.
Yeah, or on par, and that person's lives 5 minutes from me and can have a dump pouch. I'll make that person with it. If that person really wants a dump pouch, I feel like maybe some people might have voted the double-sided tape comments were pretty good because they were like those were excellent questions and really good comments, and I really appreciate the participation. But I don't know that my best friend needs my dump pouch.
All right, fair.
Considering they have 2 duffel bags that I've made them already, so not to disqualify you. Sorry, roller night girl, double-sided tape. We can chat later.
Oh, there we go.
You'll
Daily
have
dose
to...
is General Strife.
Yeah.
Oh, we know General Strife. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
our boy, our person, our friend.
Well, they have got votes, and they have said they would love it, and I'm all for it.
So wait a minute, is General Strife not the one that gets us all those leaks?
Yes, that is why one of the people voted for him, specifically for the leaks.
That is I am all for that. I think that's fantastic.
There it is.
One or 2 minutes from completing, and I'll show it up. Or off or whatever. I'm just putting the last couple of knots in the knotwork.
Tie faster.
Do my best, Captain.
We have a winner. The dump pouch shall go
to General Strife.
General Strife.
And for the record, he may be the only person that's actually attended every single one of our live streams.
Probably.
Dude, I've been thinking about it. We've been doing this, 3 years now? 2 months?
I don't even know.
That puts us at what? 3 times 12, 36 times 2, over 72, possible over 70 live streams that we've done.
It's a lot of math.
Hey, can I take the mic and camera for a second?
Get the big screen.
Do it. Yes, please.
General Strife, from me to you. Thank you, my friend, for all those leaks you do. I can't count how many dozens of awesome pictures that I've gotten to see what feels like before everybody else, because you put in all that hard work and show us all these cool toys before anyone gets to see them. So thank you for your hard work. This is very well deserved. This is for you. If the camera doesn't show, it's purple and blue with a skull on the pull tab. It is Molly in the back. And when you pull on this, it will open up into a nice dump pouch that's color shifting blue, and will hold 15 or so Talon magazines, or like 500 rival rounds, or whatever you put in there. Reach out to me on Instagram or wherever. If I don't hear from you by tomorrow, I will reach out to you. I will get your shipping information, and I will send this out to you on those.
Sweet.
Woo!
Clearly, we need to step up our guest games, because none of the previous guests gave stuff away.
They're also lazy.
Next week's guest is who created the Pew Pew?
Pewtech.
Live building with Pewtech, right?
Yeah.
Live build giveaway with Pewtech.
I'll reach out to him. He's in Switzerland.
Or what about
time zones? May be wonky, as it'll be like 4 a.m.
What about Dart Zone Derek? Let's have Dart Zone Derek on.
We're gonna have Anthony on. We're gonna make him print power armor for somebody.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Power armor for everybody.
He's going to give away a Maritimer, and it's going to end up here.
Yes, he's going to give one away to you.
Yes,
I love it.
For a commensurate amount of money. But it's Canadian, so I'll just send him a bag of Monopoly money. He won't know the difference.
No, we don't know the difference.
Joe, let people know in case they want to buy your stuff. How do they find you?
Yeah,
and, where you sell your stuff and how?
So people often ask for if I have a website, and I don't, and I don't want to host or maintain a website. So I just do everything by DMs on either Instagram, Facebook, or Discord. I am Foamando on Instagram. I am I'm not going to tell you who I am on Facebook. That's last resort. And although I guess the Joe part is pretty obvious. I do have a YouTube channel, Foamando Canada, and it's been pretty inactive. I haven't put anything on there for a year, but I've actually got some things in the works with Out of Darts. I've got some deals that I've made with them about some videos that I'm going to be making for them, maybe showing some tactics on how one might use some of their stuff. So that's going to be really fun. So I'm planning on bringing back the YouTube channel. And then what did I say the last one was? Discord, so that's just Foamando on Discord. And it's all one word, Foamando, shared M. So find me on there and reach out to me on DM. I do post my work on Instagram. So if you're looking at what types of things I do, that's the best place to see examples of my work. But generally speaking, I can make anything tack gear wise. And I do garments and cosplay work too. So I'd love to hear from you. And it's been a real pleasure hanging out with y'all. It's been a lot of fun. It's kind of been a Nerf bucket list thing to get on the show with Cap and Al. So this has been special for
I
me.
thought you'd already been here, right? I'd invited you a long time ago.
No, sir. No, sir.
Shame.
You'll have to check your DMs a little more often, Cap.
Bah! Too many comments.
Well, there's that.
Too many sources.
Can I since we're late and we get kicked off, it doesn't matter. Can I show off latest toy and give a shout out?
Oh yeah, show off all the things.
Yeah, do it. Let's see it.
So I am very fortunate. That's really cool. I'm very fortunate to have a nice relationship with NBH Blasters up here in Canada. They're a Phantom Tech rep, but just more as a personal gift because we do send each other free stuff all the time. They sent me this wonderful, beautiful Yeet hammer in Fallout colors. So
Nice.
this thing is the
Nice.
funnest. I have to say, this is one of those ones where you don't realize how fun it is until you try it, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, that's amazing."
Yes.
This one came with a Yeet handle, which I highly recommend because if it just has the bolt, it tends to go askew a little bit, whereas this lets you pull from nice and centered. So this is my latest toy, and I love it. Shout out to Noah at NBH Blasters. Thank you so much. It's a lovely gift. I'll have to send you something in return.
Oh, that's great.
That's the way we kind of do things. We just throw things at each other, and it's nice. So
Yes.
Look for a video on this, and look for some videos on some out of dart stuff. And I've also been working with Dr. Flux on some cosplay stuff for him. So lots of stuff upcoming. I'm really excited about it.
I have no
Oh, that is fantastic. All right. Well, he's looking for something. Joe, man, it's been lovely having you on, brother. I really appreciate you. Again,
Absolutely.
glad we're able to share that so people get to know who you are and what you do and what you're all about. And when he shows up
Me
at
too.
events, oh, there we go. The orange one.
I definitely need to print that handle, that centered handle. That definitely seems much, much nicer.
Yes, I have links to send you. I have to send you tack pant links and a Yeet handle links. And I can hear my earbuds dying, so I think we better call it a night for me, gentlemen. My earbuds
All right.
are
So
beeping. Battery dead.
they're going to die.
I forgot
All right.
this thing took silly shelves.
Yes.
Of course it does. All right.
There's a silly
With
shelf.
that said, Cap, you got anything before we sign us off?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for tuning in another episode of Get Off My Lawn. As always, like, subscribe, and do all the fun things. I think there'll be an episode of the Foam Zone with Andrew, aka Dart Sweet. But we're not sure because he's in the middle of moving and a lot of other things. Trust me, he will be back. It's just when his life gets settled. But we will be back in 2 weeks from now. Who knows? Maybe we'll have the Maritimer on again. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. But in the meantime, fling foam, have fun, man. Be good to one another. And you know what? Do me a favor. Get off my lawn.